So you've been thinking about getting into affiliate marketing or some passive income. Think about making fast money online is easy? Think again. Whether you're a talking head like this, or you're just doing a faceless video where you're just having audio, what matters is the love and passion you have for the niche you choose. You've got to have dedication and authenticity. Are you ready to start a real, authentic journey to creating passive income using affiliate marketing? Well, I'm going to show you tips and tricks that I've learned in my short but somewhat successful beginnings. Hey everybody, Robert here. So back in June of last year, as I've said before on the channel, I had lost one of my jobs, lost some income, and I just decided that I wanted to take some things into my own hands. So I started doing a little bit of research on affiliate marketing, passive income, earning money online, things that I was interested in. Now, I've always wanted to have a blog and a YouTube channel dedicated to smart home technology because that's really what I have a lot of experience in. I'm 30 years experience in IT. I've got 10 or 15 years in the smart home industry and smart home technology. So I have some authority in that niche and I love it. I'm passionate about it. So that's a perfect one. Well, I also decided to create this channel and blog to kind of document some of that journey. In the beginning, I realized it's not all what they say it is. And so I want to help you avoid some of the mistakes I made and realize that a lot of what people are telling you, they're telling you because they're just trying to make money off of you. They're not truly trying to help you. The things I'm going to share, the links I'm going to have in my description, are products and services that I have purchased and used with my own money. No one sponsored me, and they work. And the programs that I'm going to show you have great information, and they'll guide you through every step of the way. And it's valuable and it works. All of this, hey, do this today and in 30 days you're gonna have $10,000, that's not true. All of the people you hear talking about how passive income is, you do it once and it just starts rolling in the money, that's not true. It takes dedication, it takes hard work, it takes effort, it takes passion, and it takes that genuineness that you have to have. I can tell you in the beginning when I started doing my research, I just couldn't believe all the information that's out there. It's like, oh wow, there's a lot. But most of it's junk. And sure, I wasted some money, wasted lots of time trying to figure it out. And so I finally came across some things that truly had value. We're gonna be talking about those here in a little bit. So you'll wanna make sure and stick around for that. But I wanted to make sure that you understand that it's profitable, it works, and you can do it. You just have to believe you can do it. But it's definitely a long game. It's not something that's gonna happen overnight. It's not something that's gonna be an instantaneous windfall in your bank account, but it is something that can grow over time. And it is something that can grow enough to where it can provide a substantial passive income and possibly even 9 to 5 replacing income. And I guess that, if that's what you want, then, you can work towards that. But that's the key issue, is it's something you have to want. Don't do it chasing the dollar, because if all you're doing is chasing dollars, the chase will never end. You're gonna be like a dog chasing its tail because you're never going to get there. But if you're doing this because you just want to change how your life is going, or it's just something you want to do for fun and you don't even care about making money, but you can still monetize it and have a little bit of that, passive income through AdSense on your blog, AdSense with YouTube channel, affiliate marketing links through Amazon Associates and a plethora of others. But you've got to have passion, you've got to have consistency, and it's got to be something that you want to do because you want to do it. So let's get into this, and this is going to be maybe a little bit longer of a video than I normally post, but I feel like this information is important. It's a subject that I've been seeing a lot on some of the other social media forums that I'm a part of and people have been talking about. So I kind of felt like I needed to tell you my story and how I got where I'm at and where my successes and failures have come. So one of the first things that I want you to understand is you don't have to spend a lot of money to get started. And some people tell you, oh, you gotta have this fancy camera, you gotta have all this fancy light set up, you gotta have a great desk, you gotta have a great room. Well, all of that is true to some degree, but not to the degree that some people make it out to be. So for example, I'm currently recording this video on my Galaxy Samsung S23 Ultra. And as you can see, the video looks fantastic. I'm using a Rode Wireless Go Mic 2 for the microphone, and I'll get into that in a little bit as to why I chose that. My room that I'm in is our bonus room that for a long time was basically just being used as a storage room because we had so many boxes from a family member that had passed that we were storing the boxes. So I just cleared out a corner. The desk I'm on is an old Christmas wrapping desk that sat off in the corner that we never used. So I moved it and cleaned it off, and I'm using it as my actual desk that I can do my unboxing. I have my video setup connected to. The monitor I have is a monitor I already had. The computers I'm using are computers that I already had. I did buy a GoPro Hero 11 with the creators bundle that has the media mod and the light and everything, because I had seen a lot of videos in the beginning when I was researching what camera to use. People saying, hey, this is a great camera. And while the GoPro is a great camera, it's not great for this. It's great for those outdoor action shots or walking around. It's great for people who want to be vlogging outside. When you're wanting to do these talking head type videos where you need the camera to be able to autofocus, it doesn't work. It has no autofocus. That's not what it's designed for. So I would caution in buying a GoPro to do this. Now, if you already have one, sure, it will work. You just don't get, some of this blurring effect in the background that I like. It doesn't have that real crisp focus with, when you're talking as far as your frame, but it will work. So if you have one, you don't have to go buy anything. If you have a smartphone that's within 2 to 3 years old, it will work fine. You don't have to have the newest phone for that to work either. I have an old iPhone 12 mini. It also works fine. It doesn't do as good of a job with the autofocus, so I don't use it for the videos. If I had to use it, it would work fine. I would have no problem with it. So that's the first thing, is that, I used to be, when I was younger, I'm still a car guy, love cars. But when I was younger, I used to go to racetracks and drag strips and whatnot. And there was a saying around the drag strip with all my buddies that would say, run what you brung. And basically that just means use what you've got. And they used to laugh at me because I took this $400 Ford Crown Victoria that I purchased from a police auction, from his old police car in a local town that I live in. And I used to run it up and down the track. It was a lot of fun at any rate. So my point is, you can use probably everything you already have at your disposal, with the exception of a few things that I'm going to get into. So stick around, because I want to make sure you understand what they are and why I'm using them. But I just want to make clear that this is definitely something that's going to take time and effort to create. And it's going to take you nurturing it to continue to have it grow. Now, you will get to a point, if you continue to do that, you'll have less and less interaction. You'll have less and less things to do, and it will still continue to generate income. That's the point of passive income. You don't want to work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, because that's not passive income. And if you are dedicated and you stay true to yourself and you put the effort in up front, you'll reap the rewards on the back end. Now, how far that back end, how long is it going to take to get there? I don't know. It's different for everyone. It depends on the amount of time you have. It depends on if you do have any money that you can invest into it. Maybe you don't, and that's fine too. It's going to take some type of investment on your part, whether it be time, whether it be money, whether it be resources, taking something, a room out of your house to do it, or you can do it in your kitchen or your living room. The options are plentiful. So you have the ability of doing it if you want to do this. But you'll definitely just want to do it for the right reasons. Like I said in the beginning, don't chase the money. Do it because you want to do it, and you'll be successful. Because if you're doing it for the wrong reason, you're gonna get burned out and you're not gonna want to do it anymore. So then you're gonna look back and go, oh, that was a complete failure. Well, sure it was, because you did it for the wrong reason. And you have to have the passion and the drive. So when I started, let's go back to how I started and what I have, and I'll tell you why I have it. So I bought the GoPro, made sure that all the lights were working good in my room, figuring that was gonna be enough, but it wasn't. The videos were dark, my face wasn't lit up, there was weird shadows being cast. So then I started reading, I'm like, okay, they say, oh, you should have some lighting. Even if it's small lighting, you should have some type of lighting. I still had the GoPro. I had a little LED light on top of it. And then I also went out and bought a couple of small light panels, and it came as a pair, and they were relatively inexpensive. If I remember correctly, they were under $100 for both of them. They have batteries, so you can move them around, you can take them with you, I move them around my house all the time when I'm doing videos in the garage or downstairs in the living room, and then I'll plug them back up when I get back up here into my office where all my mess is and my cables. So they work great, and that's what I'm using right now. Just one here and one here, and they said, as I researched, you want to put them up a little bit, kind of face them down at a little bit of an angle, so that way it creates that even light. And so that fixed my lighting issue. So I was like, great. Well, the sound was terrible. Even though I had bought the GoPro with the media mod, it's supposed to have a nice mic on it, which again, for what it does is a vlogging device or outdoors, it's fine. But in this environment, I found the sound to be hollow, and it just didn't sound good. And so I did a little more research. And when it says, the two things that are critical for a YouTube video is good sound and good lighting. Those two things even trump good video, because you can sometimes get by and get past the video if you can hear well, and the scene is at least lit up where you can see the person or the object that you're have in the video. So I did a little research, and I decided to go with Rode Wireless Go 2, and it's been great. So I have this little piece here that I keep on my collar, or sometimes I'll have it on my shirt or my pocket, depending on what kind of shirt I have. And then what's attached to my phone right now is the receiver it connects to. Now this unit, I bought just one mic because I don't need two, but you can actually purchase a second one of these and pair it so you can have two. So you can actually have two people talking at the same time and record both audio, which is pretty cool. So you can easily do that. Like if you're going to do interviews or something like that, and you needed to have a mic for someone else, that's an option. And again, all of these devices, I'm going to put links in the description so you can go check them out yourself. If I remember correctly, I believe the Rode mic setup was, I think, $150 or something like that. But again, I'll put all the links and then I'll have prices. You can go check it out yourself and you can look. So I went ahead and purchased that. Now, once I bought that and I had the lights, I was still using the GoPro, and the video just still wasn't up to par. It just wasn't good enough. And I was really frustrated because, all these things people were saying, oh yeah, this camera is gonna be great. And then I started, reading like, oh, well, you need this camera, and the camera be $1,500 or $2,000 or even $800. And I just didn't have that much money to spend on a camera. Well, then I came across a YouTube video by a man named Gottfried, and he laid out the whole YouTube affiliate marketing process pretty plain Jane. He gave you step by step and how it's done, explained that you don't have to have, fancy cameras, fancy lighting. He started out with a cell phone where he was. This room is a little dark, so I needed these lights, but you can do it without the lights. If you just had some natural lights, even like if you had a window, you could stand or sit by a window and have that natural light coming in. That's perfect. But he made me realize, like, I can just use what I have. And so when he mentioned this cell phone, I was like, yeah, I guess, the S23 Ultra has some pretty amazing cameras on it. So does, a lot of the, Pixel devices, 6, 7, 8, some of the older Samsungs. I mean, even if it's a, S21 or S22, those should be more than satisfactory. The, iPhone 13, 14, 15, those have pretty amazing cameras. Great autofocus. So I started using it, and I immediately noticed a huge difference and quality improvement in my videos. I was more in focus, the videos were sharper, had this, this kind of bokeh blurred background effect that I want. I like that. When I watch other videos, I like that. So I wanted that. And this camera does it phenomenal. And I can move things in and out from the camera. It will autofocus if I'm trying to show you a part or something like that, or component or device or something, and it works great. I do a lot of unboxings and technology reviews on my other channel, and blog, and I'll actually put links to those too if you want to go check those out. So it's really nice to have that capability. Now you might be saying too, like, well, I don't want to be on camera. Well, and that's fine too, because you know what you can do is you can take this same mic setup, you can hook it directly into your computer, and you can just record audio. Or you can just record audio on your cell phone. You don't necessarily have to do video. The cell phone has the ability, there's an app you can get, I know for Samsung, that just is audio. I've used it. So there's other ways of doing that without having to show your face. You can also use AI generated video. I know there's a lot of people that are, you know, against the AI, artificial intelligence, but I can tell you that it's a tool just like anything else is. Your phone's a tool, this computer's a tool, everything's a tool that you use to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And if you use the tool correctly, it's beneficial. So there's some content I have that's generated via AI, but the content itself, I create. I write the content. And I just basically have tools, and again, I'm gonna link those in the description, that I use that will then take what I have written and turn it into a video with pictures and animations and voice overlay and all that, and it sounds pretty good. I even have a site I went to that I found in one of the groups I'm in that you can do upload your recording of your voice and it will clone your voice. So then you can take a text, paste it into this online application, and it will basically create that text in your voice into an audio file. So then you take that audio file and you just put it into whatever video you're creating as your voiceover. It sounds really good. There's a video on this channel, I'll link to it, that I did that, and it sounds pretty phenomenal. It's crazy. And I didn't even give it that much of a recording to clone me from. It was just a few minutes of something I just read that I created. So it was pretty amazing. And that's called 11 Labs. And again, I'll put links in the description. But the tools that I use for some of this auto-generated information is one is Invideo AI. The other is Canva. Canva I use to create like my YouTube thumbnails, images. You can create video there too. You can edit your pictures. I mean, Canva actually has a lot of useful features, most of which I'm not using because I don't really need it, but it's full of features. So I would definitely take a look at it. Now, I will tell you too that these links I'm giving you, some of them are affiliate links with these companies, some are not. That's kind of the point of what you're wanting to do. So if you do purchase from any of these links, I will get a small commission, so I do appreciate the support. Gottfried has a course that I purchased that's, he actually gave me a coupon code that you can use for 25% off, so that's pretty phenomenal. But it doesn't cost you anything for me to be an affiliate. The company that I'm recommending pays me, it doesn't come, you don't pay any extra to do that. And so that's fantastic. It's basically them using me to market their product. And again, I'm telling you that everything that I'm showing you and talking to you about and linking to, I use actively on a daily basis. And it works great. It has phenomenal functionality. Some of it's more expensive than others. Some of it you might not need. I'm gonna show you and give you everything that I use so that way you'll know what's available. And there's other things too. What I'm showing you is not like it. There are so many options out there, but these I find are affordable and they are fantastic how they function. But basically getting back to the faceless or AI generated video, it's obviously going to take longer for you to monetize that type of YouTube channel than it is a regular talking head channel like this is. This is considered a talking head video, but you can still monetize a channel that is AI content. Everyone thinks that Google is going to ding you hard, or YouTube, for having AI content, and that's really not true. What they want to make sure is that it's genuine information, you're not misleading people, and that it's quality. So it's important to make sure that when you're creating these, that you're doing it with genuine content. You're not copying somebody else. you're not plagiarizing anyone, it's not false information. If you're just using a tool to create something that you're putting your words into, they're not gonna ding you for that. Just don't be afraid of it. Like, everyone talks about Chat GPT. I use Chat GPT because I'm not a very creative person. So I know what I want to say, and I can say like this, I can talk into a camera, I can talk to somebody and tell them what I'm thinking. But when it comes down to putting it in writing, I struggle with that. So what I use Chat GPT for is, once I've created like what I want to say, I will tell Chat GPT to create me a blog post, and I give it whatever parameters I want, and I'll say with this content, and I'll put my content in quotes, and it'll take my words and it'll just basically structure my words into a properly formatted blog post, which is fantastic. It saves me a huge amount of time, and it helps eliminate a huge amount of errors that I would make on my own. Now, as I've been doing this over the last 6 months, I've definitely learned a few things, so some of it I can do without that now. It definitely was invaluable as a beginner in being able to construct a blog in a manner in which it read correctly, it was accurate, spelled correctly, all those things. Use the tools to your advantage to help you simply organize or format what you already have. It's your content, it's your words. It's just helping you outline it, which is what I needed. So that's how it's been very beneficial to use some of this AI stuff. I also found a site to where, like, this is gonna be a video. Once the video's done and I publish it to YouTube, I could then take that YouTube link, put it into a website that will transcribe this video into text. So then I can have this entire video as a transcribed text that I could then upload back into YouTube for closed captioning. And I can also use that same text to format into a blog post that's going to be pretty much the same content as this video that I'll be able to put on the blog. So I have a blog post and I have a video that's pretty much the same content. They link back to each other, which is going to help in the long run as far as getting things ranked and found, and SEO and all of that information. SEO was something that I had to learn. It was a little daunting at first because there's so many little nuances in keywords, in the research you need to do, competitor research and placement, and how you write your blog titles. Sometimes my YouTube title is different than what my blog title is. So you kind of have to play with that. There is a tool that I use within my blog, and I can tell you this. So if you don't have a website, you have no hosting of any sort, I highly recommend SiteGround. SiteGround is a hosting platform that you can go to register a domain. They give you hosting space for a website. You can then install WordPress on it, which is so easy to use that anyone can do it. And they have a lot of security features and some other things that you'll want to implement into that. Once you get that set up and you start actually creating your blog within that structure, there are what they call plugins that you'll want to have that will help you with your SEO formatting. It helps you with submitting your URLs for your posts into like the Microsoft Bing, Google Chrome, Google search engine. So it's pretty valuable. So I would highly recommend a good hosting platform like that. A lot of people recommend Wix. I don't use Wix. I personally don't care for Wix. In my IT career, I've dealt with a lot with Wix, and I just find it to be difficult to work with as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people say, oh, it's so easy, drag and drop, do this, and that's great. But I found a lot of odd things with some of the URLs not showing up right because of how they structure things. So at any rate, I recommend you do something like SiteGround because it's easy, it's plain and simple. They just give you the core of what you need and you go from there. But one of the tools I use within WordPress when I'm creating my posts is called In One SEO. And it is a application or plugin that as you're writing your post, it grades your SEO based on keywords that you want to rank for. So as you're writing the post, if the post is not formatted correctly for that SEO ranking, it will, be in red or orange, and it'll tell you, hey, you need to improve this. And then it'll actually give you a clickable link to show you where the error is at or the area that you can improve. As you're going down through the post, pictures and everything, it guides you to getting the best SEO formatted post you can possibly get. It has been invaluable. I love that application. All-in-one SEO has been fantastic. It's easy to use, and there's a lot of other things that kind of go into it. I'm not gonna get all of the details of that. Maybe I'll do another post or video that details exactly how you use all-in-one SEO, because it's really great, but I'll get into that later. But as far as the WordPress goes, the themes, how your site looks, there's tons of free themes. You just pick one that matches what you want and you install it and apply it, and then it's basically drag and drop right in this box, right in that box. It's very easy. So it's not hard to do. But the all-in-one SEO is fantastic. So I highly recommend looking into something like that. You definitely want to get linked up with Google Analytics, Google Search, because you want to be able to monitor what's happening on the site. It's free. All you need is a Google account, and you'll be able to get it set up. You're also going to need that Google account that once you get to a point where you can monetize, whether it be your YouTube channel or blog or both, you need an AdSense account. So that's what Google uses to pay you and have the ads run. And again, that's kind of, what you want to do is get that revenue generating, even if it's a small amount. Over time, it grows bigger. So you want to get that in place. I will tell you that the Google AdSense was probably one of the most frustrating processes of all of this. Now, of course, you have to have some content. You can't do one post, submit it, and they're going to give you an AdSense account. They want to see what your site's about. They want to see how your posts are. They want to make sure you're not plagiarizing. They want to make sure the content is good content for what they don't want anything that's derogatory or offensive. So you do have to have some content. But once I got some content built out, I would submit it for approval, and they declined me. Now, in the beginning, they declined me because I would get a decline for that my content wasn't valuable enough, which basically meant I didn't have enough. So I'm like, okay. So I just would put it off to the side. I would keep making my posts, and then I would submit again. Well, then I started getting just random declines. It would just say, you're in violation of some of these policies. Please fix the policy violations, and you can resubmit. But it doesn't tell you what the violation is. So I kind of went through the policies, and I read, and I tweaked a few things that I thought might be the issue, resubmitted, and it didn't work. Well, finally, I decided to reach out to a friend of mine who actually has a web development business. I had her kind of do a back-end analysis on my site, and she told me basically what I already knew. The structure was good. I had a good outline. The content looked good. It was obviously very original content. I'm not plagiarizing anyone. I had the proper links. I wasn't over linking to affiliate stuff, just providing valuable links to hey, here's this product, I use it, here it is if you want to go buy it kind of link. But she said the one thing she saw that might be the issue is that in my privacy policy, which is required, I didn't mention anything about web beacons. Now, again, super novice here. I didn't even know what a web beacon was. I know all about cookies. I've known about web cookies for a long time. Being an IT professional, I deal with that all the time. But I didn't know what a web beacon was. And so she explained it, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just rewrite the policy, and I'll find out how to write it correctly to include whatever verbiage I need for web beacons. So I cleaned up a few little miscellaneous things, I had a broken link she found, which was great. So I fixed the link, cleaned up a few little visual things, which were no big deal. And then I went on the hunt for what is the right privacy policy. And I found some sites that you can create free privacy policies that you just basically go through this questionnaire and you answer some questions, and at the end of it, it generates this text document that you can copy and paste that privacy policy and put it onto your website. So I did that and made sure all the information was in there, make sure I had, an email for contact, that, all the information that is required. I also made sure that I have affiliate disclaimer, because when you have affiliate links, you're required to have a disclaimer on the site that says you are an affiliate and that the purchases made from some of the links on your site, you might earn a commission from. you're required to disclose that. So again, one of the tools I have within my WordPress is a tool that it's called Thirsty Affiliates, and it works great, is I can place it in there and I just basically tell the plugin, I want this on every page, on every post. And so every page and every post that gets there, it's just automatically generated at the bottom. It's fantastic. I don't have to redo it. And you want to find things like that you can implement that save you time to achieve something that's required. So at any rate, so I fixed the privacy policy, made sure everything's good. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and resubmit anyways. I'm probably gonna get declined again, but who knows? Literally 4 days later, I got approved. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. It was that privacy policy all along. Now, why they couldn't say, hey Robert, we're declining your application for AdSense because your privacy policy doesn't meet our guidelines. If they would have just said that, I would have known what to focus on, and I could have recreated it a long time ago and probably got approved for AdSense. So now my website has AdSense installed and is generating ads, and which generates revenue. Now, it's only been a few days since that's happened. I've literally only had a few cents, but that's where it all starts. It starts small and grows big, hopefully. Same kind of thing with my YouTube channel for my Cloud9 Tech, which is my smart home technology side. Posted tons of videos. Well, you've got to have a certain number of watch hours and a certain number of subscribers before YouTube will approve you for the YouTube monetization, which is where you have ads in your videos. They also have a lower tier. So you can do 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, and you have the ability of doing what's called like super chats and super stickers and shop and things like that give you ways of earning money without actually having ads. You can do 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Then you can get fully monetized where YouTube will display ads on your site. I worked really hard at creating a lot of content, creating good videos. I joined a lot of social media sites and social media groups that for people who are in the middle of affiliate marketing, passive income, blogs, YouTube channels, things like that. At some point, several of my videos, I don't know if they got shared somewhere or by someone or something, but they kind of like blew up over like a week's period of time. The subscribers grew and they're continuing to grow. They continue to grow. I've gotten like 100 new subscribers just in the last week, which is amazing. But finally I hit that 4,000 watch hour. I had 4,200 watch hours and I had like 1,250 subscribers or something like that. And I was like, I got an email from Google that says, hey, you have met the requirements to apply for AdSense. So I was like, wow, okay. So I applied for monetization and was approved. So now my blog and my YouTube channel both are monetized using AdSense through Google, where they display ads. And my YouTube channel, ironically, is averaging about $1 a day of revenue for ads being shown. And of course, the more traffic you get, the more viewers you have watching your videos, the higher the revenue. So you want to make sure and continue to post good content. And again, SEO is just as important in YouTube as it is in your website and your blog. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that YouTube is a search engine. Just like Google, where you go to Google and you type in, find me the closest restaurant for Mexican. YouTube is the second largest search engine behind Google itself. And of course, Google owns YouTube. So when you combine those two together, the amount of people that's querying and viewing and looking at content is in the billions. The number is staggering. So you want to make sure that the content you're putting in your YouTube channel, your thumbnails look good, which I've struggled with that. I've had to learn that because again, I'm not super creative. So I've had to take a lot of instruction from like Greg Gottfried in his course, goes over that in detail, which is fantastic, in how to create the proper thumbnail. Also how to create the proper title, because you want to make sure the title is accurate. It's not conflicting with the thumbnail because you don't want them to say the same thing. But yeah, it relates how the video is, what the video talks about. And then of course the description, and in the description, you're gonna put links to your products or services, or maybe links to nothing. You just want to put information, which is fine too. The more accurate you get with what your YouTube channel is about, then the algorithm for YouTube begins to realize, okay, I see Robert's posting a lot about smart home technology and this type of device and that type of device. So then it starts recommending my videos to viewers who are searching on YouTube for like how to build a smart home, or how to install a smart switch, or what's the best router to use for a smart home, or anything like that. So the more correct you have that information, the better off YouTube understands what your site's about to be able to recommend your videos. And ultimately that's what you want, because that's how you're going to generate that revenue with ads, because you want people to view it. You want the watch hours. You want people to stay on your YouTube channel as long as they can. So when they're watching a video, you want them to watch from start to finish is ideal, but most people don't do that. Some people, if they're like me, they'll watch the beginning, get an idea, maybe they'll skip ahead, they'll click a chapter, like, okay, I don't need to know about this, but I want to know about this. So they'll click the chapter, move ahead. But the longer you can keep them on the site or on that channel and watching that video, the better off it is for you and your ad revenue. And if you're not monetized, again, it just adds to those watch hours. Faster you get those watch hours up, the faster you're going to get monetized. That brings me to affiliate marketing. Let's say you're not monetized. Let's say your subscribers aren't growing real fast, or your watch hours aren't getting up there. You can still generate revenue, and that's with the affiliate links. So for example, if I'm talking about, let's say I'm talking about vidIQ, which is a service I use in my YouTube channel to do keyword research, competition research. It's a fantastic program. And I'm using it on a daily, and I do subscribe to their premium service because it has helped me it's one of the things that's helped me the most outside of like Greg Gottfried's course in making sure my YouTube content was correct. I'm doing proper keyword searches, creating content that ranks high for what people are searching for. I have an affiliate link for vidIQ, so I talk about vidIQ, I put my affiliate link in there, and someone goes, oh, hey, I want this service looks great. They click the link, they purchase. vidIQ pays me a small $1 or $2 commission or whatever it might be. You don't have to have monetization on your YouTube channel to be able to use affiliate marketing. That's completely separate. So once you do get monetized, when you have monetization and affiliate marketing all working for you, it just gives you twice the opportunity of potentially earning revenue. One of the best ways to get started with affiliate marketing is as an Amazon associate. It's very easy to sign up. It's very easy to actually get that program working for you, because Amazon has everything. It doesn't matter what your content is about, they're gonna have a product that you can sell. Once you become approved, they give you links that you can share. Now the commission levels are much smaller with Amazon than like if you were to go straight to a company, but it's the easiest to get started, and you have the largest selection of product you're gonna find anywhere in one source. So if you're just getting started and you don't want to get too overwhelmed with all these different affiliate programs that are out there, just start with one, get your feet wet, get comfortable, and then you can move into others. That's what I would recommend you do. Don't do too much at one time, because you're going to overwhelm yourself and it's going to be frustrating, and you don't want to do that. So I definitely recommend you go apply for Amazon Associates, and I'll put a link in the description again for a link to where you can go do that. So again, those same links that you're putting in YouTube, you can put in your blog. So what I try to do myself is I try to make my blog post be complementary to my YouTube channel and vice versa. And in my blog, I will reference my YouTube video for that specific post. And likewise, on my YouTube in the description, I will link back to the blog post for that video. So that helps with backlinking, which you'll learn about. I'm not going to get too deep into that, but that's important. And it also helps people find your content better. So if someone's looking at your blog and they go, hey, oh, he has a YouTube channel. Look, I'm going to go watch his videos. And they're going to click on one video, and they might start watching a bunch of other videos that you have listed. So it can definitely help. If you're only doing YouTube, or you're only doing a blog or website, that's fine too. Just use your links wherever you're creating your content. Social media, you want to create social media, or just use your existing social media and share, again, the same post, same information. Put it out as many places as you can get. But as you can see, people who say, oh, this is an overnight thing, or this happens this quick, it doesn't. It requires effort. Somebody I was watching a video on, they said that was front-loaded income. And I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. But then he explained it. He's like, you're gonna have to put a lot of work and effort up front, then to be able to reap the passive benefits on the back end, where at that point, the channel's rolling or your blog's rolling, and you can just do maintenance, make posts, put some content. You're not putting all this work up front in again. It just continues. It made sense. Front-loaded income. You put the work in up front and you reap the benefits on the back. But you still have to put work in. But affiliate marketing and monetization for YouTube and blogs and all, it's a very viable source of earning some revenue and some passive income. But that's why it's important to do it in a niche that you're familiar with, that you have knowledge in, that you are an expert in, and that you're passionate about, because you'll be able to stay focused and you're gonna have that drive to wanna succeed. And that was my goal when I started this. I'm like, I'm not going to start this and then just stop. I'm gonna work through the trials and the tribulations, and I had a lot. I actually started my Cloud9 Tech as A to Z Smart Home, and went through 2 months of that, and then come to realize that Amazon actually has A to Z, the actual phrase, trademarked. So I was violating their trademark, and they told me that, and so I had to stop using it. So I had to completely rebrand my website, rebrand my YouTube channel, everything. But that's okay. I mean, I got through that in 2-3 weeks, and then got back into the Amazon Associate Program with my new channel, and everything just started rolling. So you're going to hit roadblocks, you're going to hit walls, and the key thing is to not get too frustrated and just figure out what you have to do to solve the problem. Then you solve the problem and you keep moving forward. Because I guarantee you, as I have seen myself, because I doubted that I was gonna make even a penny off what I was doing, because it just seemed like nothing was happening. No one was watching videos, nobody was reading my content. It just seemed like a waste of time, and I was getting very discouraged. Then I started, again, getting people who are in the same place. They're like, hey, no, it's this, it's that, you can do this, and they support you, and you join these groups that they talk about like what's the best practice, and you have courses like from Gottfried, and you have tools like vidIQ and ChatGPT, and these things that you learn how to use that help you succeed. And that's what it's all about. It's something that you can do if you want to do it. You just have to have desire and passion, and just keep going. Even if you do a little bit at a time, you don't have to do all of it at once. You can, I was able to, achieve monetization, all that within like 6 months, but some people can do it in 90 days. Some people, it takes 1 year. It just depends on how much time and effort, and maybe a little bit of, money that you might have to where you can buy some lights or buy a better microphone or whatever the case may be. But if you can't, that's okay too. People that started early in this, like Marques Brownlee. Everyone I'm sure has probably heard of him. If you hadn't, go search him up on YouTube and you'll see the guy's huge. Mr. Beast. These people started out with like basic common things, and then as they started generating revenue, then they started buying better tools, better equipment, and they continue to be successful. It's different for everyone, and you just have to, put the effort out there and just keep going. Just do what you can, and just keep doing what you can until you can do more, and just keep going, because the persistence will pay off. I absolutely guarantee it. It happened to me because I was in a place of, this is ridiculous. And, I'm making these videos and I'm writing this content and no one's paying any attention to it. It just takes time. It takes learning some techniques and skills that maybe you don't have, but you can learn them. The SEO side of things, yeah, it's a little complicated, but there's tons of free how-to guides on here's how you do SEO. And if there's any of this information that you want to ask me about, I'll be happy to help you in any way I can. I'm not one of those people that's like, I did all this research, so can you. I'll be happy to give you whatever information I have because I want to help someone be successful like people have helped me become successful. I want to pay that forward. If you have questions, if you have ideas or suggestions or whatever the case may be, put them in the comments and let me know. And I'll be happy to answer them to the best I can. You can see on my other channel that has probably most of my traffic. People ask me questions on there all the time, make statements, and I'm really good about responding because I want to give back what I've been given. And I think providing information is one of the ways I can do that. Find some Facebook groups that are, in your niche and join them. Find other, social media platforms like Medium. I joined Medium and started taking my writings from my blog and just posting them into Medium. And I'm actually earning a few dollars in Medium because I was able to join their partner program where I'm paid when people read my content. So there's a lot of other ways that you can monetize yourself. Now, Medium has been fantastic. That is an amazing social media platform that is really people who, there's a lot of fantastic writers there, but you don't have to be a writer, you just go there to read. I discovered that I love writing. And I love being able to say what's on my mind and say what I'm thinking or help someone with one of their problems or whatever the case may be. And so I've been doing a lot of writing and I really love it. It's actually therapeutic in a lot of ways. When I first started talking to my phone, it was kind of weird because I'm sitting here in an empty room, basically talking to myself. But then I had to think like, no, I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to you. Someone on the other side of that's listening and watching, and that's who I'm talking to. When you look at it like that, it's kind of like I'm just sitting in front of another person and having a conversation because that's what I'm kind of doing. So if you look at it like that, it kind of takes some of the weirdness out of it. Even though I have these two bright lights shining at me and it is a little different, but you get used to it. It's actually been a ton of fun, and I'm really glad that I started it, even though it took a negative aspect of my life to push me in that direction, but that negative instance has turned into so much positive. I'm gonna say I'm glad it happened, but maybe it's a blessing in disguise, let's put it that way. And one other thing I want to say about like when you join Medium or Facebook or you purchase the tools that you're going to purchase, like some of the software or whatever the case may be, or camera or lights, make sure you're using those tools to the best of your ability to benefit what you need them to do. Don't skip understanding how it works. Learn it, understand it, and then you're able to utilize its features and benefits for what you need it to do, so you can create the best video, you can create the best audio, you can write the best words, whatever it is that you're doing, whether it be on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Medium, blog posts. Use your tools like they're supposed to be used and effectively, and it'll just help you create the best content you can create. But all of the links are going to be in the description for the things I've talked about. I'm sure there's probably something I've missed. There's been a lot of information I've tried to cover as quick as I can cover it. But again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to shoot me a comment and I'll be happy to get back to you. Definitely hit that like and subscribe if you find this content helpful, and you'll definitely want to go check this video out right here.